I've made exactly $0 this year, and yet this has been my most profitable year of my whole life. Why? I'm gonna explain to you in a second, but first, look at this. Isn't that lovely? It's a beautiful place. So this is my business log, where I'm talking about the business that I created. My name is Nathan. I run a business. I'm an entrepreneur in my 20s. I recently graduated from university, and yeah, I'm trying to do my best to run my business and to earn money on my own. So the way I'm gonna structure this video is in 3 sections: past, present, and future. I'm gonna explain to you what happened in the past month. I'm gonna explain to you how I interpret it and what it means for the present. And I'm gonna tell you what my plans are for the future. So as I said, in the past month, I've made $0. That's also €0, 0 British pounds, 0 whatever you want. However, I've learned so much. I literally learned so much because this month I've signed with my first client. And I can't believe it's only been a month because so much, literally so much happened in only 1 month that it feels like it's been at least 3 to 6 months. What you learn by doing it yourself is literally so valuable. You're learning so much by doing your own business. It's insane. What's difficult when you're doing your own business as opposed to being employed, there's so many things that are very difficult, obviously. Being employed has its pros and cons, same for having your own business. But what's very difficult is that every single step you don't know and you have no one to tell you. So obviously today we're so lucky to have internet and AI, and also obviously you can find some mentors, you can have a network, but overall, whatever you do, it's your first time. Like every single step in the process is your first time. And that's why it's so valuable to have your first client, because it's literally gonna define everything that's coming. It's gonna define your frameworks, it's gonna define how you do things, what you learn. So that first client is extremely important, and I'm so grateful to my first client. So I'm now in south of France, but I was in Belgium for the past 10 days. The reason is because I needed some kind of other perspective. I feel like it's super useful to just move. Even just changing your environment a little bit can help you so much in seeing things from a different perspective, solving problems, being more motivated. It depends a lot on the environment. And obviously here, the French Alps, okay, it's beautiful, as you can see. However, well, it's not very dynamic, is it? So yeah, that's why the past 10 days in Belgium were super useful. I was able to focus on myself, on my business. So this week is a little bit more calm in my business. When I was in Belgium, I was literally working morning to evening, okay? This is the reality of having your own business. You just work 24/7. It's like one of my friends told me like, oh wow, you're so lucky to not have a boss. But actually you have to be your own boss because otherwise things don't get done. And maybe you even have to be harder with yourself than your own boss, because discipline makes it all. Like even the days I don't feel motivated, because obviously like there's so many days I don't feel motivated. I don't want to work, right? I just want to relax because I'm so tired. I slept bad, for example, but I still have to do it. And so you need to be disciplined, you need to be your own boss for that. And that's actually really difficult. So it's like when you're in a normal job, you're working 9 to 5. When you're an entrepreneur, you're working 24/7 and you earn less than in a 9 to 5. So you really have to be a little bit crazy to take on that task, I think. But yeah, it's the ratio, like risk reward. Obviously, you're taking way more risk, but you're also aiming at least for more reward, hopefully. So having that first client, and I'm gonna come back to it a little bit later, having your first client is super important because you need to build strong foundations. If you're aiming to scale, you have to have processes in place, right? So you need, for example, to have already a CRM. This is something I've discovered. Obviously, I knew CRM, but I had never used one. Now I have my CRM, so I integrated OpenClaw with my CRM so I can be super productive with it. But having a CRM, for example, is extremely important because if you want to scale, like at the moment, I'm managing literally dozens and dozens of different suppliers. And for each of them, I have to track their status. I have to track our last discussions by email or by call. I have to track everything, like their inventory, their offers, their prices. So this you can only do these kind of things if you have a strong system and a strong foundations. And that's why your first client is really gonna be defining, because if you do it well, you can really set those frameworks and get it ready to scale and to be sustainable over time. So that's actually super interesting. So in my last business log, it was a month ago before signing with this first client, I was thinking that, I should try to reach out to as many people as possible, like as many companies as possible. I wanted to have many clients, I wanted to onboard many clients and manage like 4 or 5 clients at a time. And yes, okay, it's possible, but now I realize, now that I actually have this first client and that I'm working for them, I realize how much work it is, and I realize that if you want to deliver a service of quality, you can't just scale too fast. You have to take your time, build strong foundations, and then build up upon that. And that's why I'm grateful that I only have 1 client at the moment. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but at the moment, I'm building my frameworks, I'm building my foundations, I'm building my workflow, and I'm learning through every step. And that's why I was saying that even though technically I've made €0 this month, I've learned so much because I worked and I discovered things for the first time. And things that used to feel really hard, now they are just easy because I know how to do it. Everything is hard until you know how to do it. So one example of that is the phytosanitary certificate. Okay, this is super niche, obviously this is relevant to me, but it can explain, like it shows you how something that feels really difficult, once you learn how to do it, it becomes a process. So the phytosanitary certificate is when you want to export outside of the EU, you need to show, if it's an agricultural product, you need to show that your product is free from pests, basically, so that it can be imported in a country. So when I export some goods from here to Asia, I need that phytosanitary certificate. And for that, you need to register as an EU operator. You need to be like a certified exporter. There's so many steps to it. It's actually really complicated, especially, no offense, but the French system, the French administration, the bureaucracy makes it really slow and complicated. So obviously, this is something that I was a bit scared about, and I thought it was like a massive task, and it was. But now that I've done it, now that I've registered as an operator officially, like these kind of things, now I can just do it on repeat because I know how to do it. And that's where you can start to build leverage because, okay, now I know how to do it. So once I have all my systems in place, I can start onboarding new clients, and because I'm more efficient for all the processes. So this is really interesting about scaling. Onto something else. So at the moment, I'm doing that startup where I export products from Europe to Asia. But I'm also doing some AI startups. So I'm not gonna give too much details at the moment. But basically, the struggles that I face at the moment is to build my offer. It's not easy to build your offer because, especially when you're perfectionist, right? And this is something we've heard so many times, like, don't be too perfectionist, you've got to iterate on things. But obviously it's more difficult to do it in real life compared to the theory. But yeah, something that I've heard today on the internet, and I really like that, is a reminder that you have to fail fast. Like, if you want to scale, if I want to get that offer for my AI startup, I need to create something, like I need to create an MVP like as quickly as possible, present it as a prototype to a first client, and probably it's not gonna be perfect, but that's okay. I can iterate and build upon it. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna reach and I'm gonna seek for that product market fit and iterate and just like fail. It's okay, it's totally fine. But this is something that is kind of against human nature, I think, or at least against some personalities. So we need to be reminded of that. And super interesting. So yeah, this week is a little bit more chill. So I was thinking about work-life balance. I think as an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily have that work-life balance, especially when you're beginning. I think, yeah, it's your decision. Like if you want to have more free time, then you can't expect that you're gonna scale and you're gonna grow as fast as someone who's working like from morning to evening. But in the same time, I'm working a lot, but I realized that I need to enjoy the present moment. And that's something you can only do when you appreciate the small things. And that's why today I decided to do this video outside. Okay, I take this time to reflect. I take this time to log my progress, but I want to do it outside and I want to just enjoy. Look, it's gonna be the sunset in a few hours. That I just want to enjoy that, because this is the moments that are between my work times, you know, my work hours. Basically, this year is a year of the horse. It's 2026, the year of money, the year of the horse, and I'm a horse in the Asian zodiac sign. Whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. It's the year of the horse. So we're gonna try to do our best. Crazy learning is coming. I have a lot of hope, a lot of faith in 2026, and it's gonna take a lot of working, but I think great things are coming. I'm very optimistic. Last point about my business. So next week I'm going to Paris. I'm gonna meet my clients and I'm going there for an event related to my work. Okay, so quick message to myself of the future. I hope you progressed. I hope you did your best. If you're watching this and you're also building something, all the best, good luck. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to explain. And yeah, on to the next. See you.